Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to Behind the Beat. My name is Chris Langen. Today, we are going to learn our second beat. Okay, now if you haven't seen the first video where I taught you your first beat, then you might want to go back and check that one out because there's a lot of useful information as far as how to set up your drums, how to sit, which hands do what. So go into my playlists and find that one. If you have seen it and you are ready for your next beat, then let's get right into it. Okay, so in the first video, we learned how to play a quarter note beat. Okay, if you remember, it was 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that beat is, it's good, but it's not very useful. The only time you'll really see that particular beat being used is maybe in like a faster, like pop punk song, something like this. Okay? Otherwise, we typically don't see quarter notes being played on the hi-hat. What we do see is eighth notes on the hi-hat. That is a way more common thing for a drummer to do. So this beat, which I actually call the money beat, is basically the beat you learn that everything else stems from. Okay? That's the way I like to see it. So I call this one the money beat. Now, if you remember in the last video, we counted to 4. We assigned an arm and a leg to each beat to do something. Well, with this particular beat, we are going to be counting eighth notes. And eighth notes are counted 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4 and. Okay? So, the same rules are going to apply as far as what our bass drum and snare drum did. We are still going to play the bass drum on beats 1 and 3. We're still going to play the snare drum on beats 2 and 4. However, our hi-hat is going to be playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? So we're basically doubling what we did in the last beat with our right hand. Okay. So try to wrap your head around this. We've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? As I mentioned, our bass drum is still going to play on beats 1 and 3. So, as you're counting, every time you say 1 and 3, hit your bass drum. Let's try that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? Now, our snare drum will be playing on beats 2 and 4. So here's where it all comes together. When you say 2 and 4, we're going to hit our snare drum. Let's get our bass drum going along with that as well. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 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 Okay? All right, now once you've gotten the hang of that, it's time to speed it up a little bit. But before we do that, make sure that your bass drum and hi-hat are hitting simultaneously on every shot. Same with your snare and your hi-hat. We don't want them to flam. We don't want... Okay? We need to tighten them up. So as long as it takes you to tighten those up, then stay there, okay? Once you feel you've gotten it pretty pretty tightened up, we can start messing around with tempos and speed it up a little bit. Let's try it a little. Let's start where we just were and slowly work our way up. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 okay. As I got faster, you probably started to realize that you've heard that beat probably a million times. That's why I call it the money beat. That's the beat that, pays the bills, really. So, some good songs that you could try practicing along to. Just off the top of my head, Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. That song, except for a couple little fills, is basically the money beat. Okay, a lot of AC/DC, especially like Back in Black. You could go through their albums and pick out a bunch of them that use this basic eighth note rock beat. Now, again, there will be parts where maybe the drummer does a little fill or something. Don't let that distract you. Play straight through it. Practice along to these songs and try to keep up with what the drummer on the recording is doing. Okay? You should basically not be able to hear that drummer. If you could hear that drummer's snare or bass drum, then you're off, okay? We want to line right up with them. So, like I said, Billie Jean, some AC/DC are all really good songs to try and practice this brand new beat to, okay? Other than that, we're just going to work with that for now. And once you've got that down, I do have some other videos in my playlists that you can go check out that have some beginner drum fills, okay? So get your beat down and then check out some of the other videos, and we can learn how to do some fills to spice up what we're already doing. For example, one you might find in another video would be eighth note rock beat followed by an eighth note drum fill. Okay, so we're still counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It sounds like this. One and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay. All right, guys. I hope this has been helpful. Good luck. The journey is incredible from here, so just stick with it. If you have any questions, please leave them below in the comments. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and check out some other videos on my page. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All the links are on my homepage. Well, until next time, guys, we will see you at the next lesson.